Just sort of do a little video. It's booster time. If you haven't had your booster, what's wrong with you? What could go wrong? Let's see what these guys have got to say. Should be fun.
Booster significantly different than our first round of booster shots. Is there evidence it supplies significantly more protection?
Yeah, this is a really important question. For the first time now, we have a shot that actually targets exactly the variants that we have circulating right now. So about 88% of our variants are BA5, about 11% BA4, and right now this...
So tell me, why were people forced out of work because they didn't have the first two shots, which apparently didn't protect you against anything, because by the time that they were forced on people that the new variants were out and about doing their thing. So, yeah, please explain.
Updated shot is half the original strain and half that BA4, BA5 strain. What's targeted to that BA4, BA5 strain. The laboratory data suggests that this updated vaccine will perform better against the circulating strains we have right now, that it will perform better against other circulating variants that may come, and that it won't...
How do you know that? How do you know what's coming, and how do you know that this is going to... Gee, these are the worst used car sales guys I've ever come across. Like, seriously. Like, it's just absolute rubbish. Like, this person's high.
Sacrifice anything in terms of protection of the original strain. So we're in a much better place with this updated booster right now.
Dr. Paul Offit, an infectious disease and vaccine expert at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, he's also a member of the FDA Advisory Committee, has been critical of this updated booster. He says that a healthy young person really is unlikely to even benefit from a booster dose. It should be targeted more specifically to those who really are most likely to benefit. And I wonder if you agree with that assessment, and whether just even saying that adds to what's been, as you know, an ongoing criticism of CDC messaging, that COVID vaccines, COVID itself, the messaging has been confusing.
So first, deep respect to Dr. Offit. Here's what I will say about our updated vaccine. We are simplifying our message. The message is you need to get your fall booster vaccine. So go ahead and get it.
So what's that based upon? Just your opinion, or... You know, like, these haven't even been tested on humans, these new booster shots you're talking about. They've been tested on 8 mice. So that's hardly research or anything. Like, I've got another lady, she's coming on next, and she's telling you, oh, it's just like the flu vaccine. We never test for them. We always, we just know that they're safe. What? Everybody got the flu.
If you're over the age of 12, if you've received your primary series, if you're more than 2 months out of your last shot, you can get an updated vaccine. And so we've intentionally simplified the message so it's very, very clear. It's also very clear that those who are over the age of 50, even over the age of 60 or 70, are more at risk for severe disease, hospitalization, and death. And it is especially...
Yeah, as a side effect to this crap you're giving people. Yeah.
Important that people in that demographic and others who are at high risk of severe disease get that updated vaccine.
This is unbelievable.
What makes this booster significantly different than our first round of booster?
Oh, where are we? I've lost myself now. Where's the button? Don't know where it is. Oh, well. Let's go back. Oh, this is hard work. Bear with me.
What makes this booster significantly different than our first?
All right, we're going back. Where are
The
we?
best way to think about this updated...
Here we go. You ready for it? Let's listen to her crap, because here's another used car salesperson. That, you know, like when you go and buy a car, and like they pretend they know all about the vehicles and they don't, and then they sort of just make shit up as they go along.
COVID booster is the same way we think about our influenza vaccine or our flu shot every single year. Every year, that vaccine is new, but not new. It contains 4 latest strains of influenza. We need to start thinking about the COVID vaccine the same way. So this is an updated COVID vaccine. It contains 2 variants or 2 strains of SARS-CoV-2 or coronavirus.
What could go wrong? You know, like, seriously. God. Oh, look, if you tie yourself to a bungee rope and jump off, you can actually take this without taking the original ones. Whatever.
Original or wild type strain that first made its appearance back in very early 2020, and then descendants of the Omicron variant, in this case Omicron BA4 and BA5. That is the predominant strain at this time circulating in the United States. So the idea is that you have a little of the old, a little of the new, and that together those two variants in the bivalent vaccine.
How about a little of the nothing and a little bit more of the nothing else? Because this is just ridiculous. This science you're spreading around is just retarded.
Booster will give us better protection. Who would be eligible for the updated COVID vaccine?
Any stupid fool that'd be stupid enough to partake in a medical experiment of this nature.
Bivalent booster. I want to emphasize and be crystal clear. This is only for people who have completed their original series. So right now, if you are choosing to get the new updated bivalent booster and it's made by Pfizer, that is now authorized, or you're eligible if you are 12 years of age and older and you are 2 or more months past your original series or your last booster shot. If you are getting a bivalent updated COVID vaccine that's made by Moderna, it is for people 18 years of age and older who have...
Yeah, this all sounds like science. Like, wow, you got multiple options for this crap. And based upon no research other than, oh, yeah, we do it with flu vaccines. Wow, clever.
Been 2 or more months after their original series or their last booster. What about children under the age of 12?
You should leave them alone and let them develop their own immune systems and be able to beat this rubbish, you'd think. That's how science used to work, but now you're just making up this new science as you go along, and everybody's meant to believe you. And what could go wrong? You know, like, seriously.
Even down to infants as young as 6 months of age. Remember, these different age groups need to show their data to the FDA and the CDC and an independent advisory panel before those age groups have their bivalent vaccine.
What year? 2050, 2070? When do they need to have this info presented? Because you're already going to go ahead and do it anyway, so.
Vaccine authorized. And we expect some submission and possibly some ruling and vote on this in the next couple of months.
So you're expecting any adverse events or anything like from the previous ones, or that nothing could go wrong?
If you've recently had COVID-19 infection, it is an option to wait 3 months or 90 days from the time you tested positive, and then they can go ahead and get this updated COVID vaccine booster. After having a COVID-19 infection, you do have a very high degree of your own natural immunity from just having...
For 3 months. Shut the hell up. You know what? I would have moved on to the next car yard by now, because I wouldn't buy your lemon you're selling.
Had the infection. That immunity can carry you a certain period of time based on published data. We think that hovers for most people around 90 days or 3 months. What about if you haven't had your first booster yet? Well, as of now,
you're probably still alive.
You will not have a choice between the monovalent and the updated bivalent booster. All the boosters in the...
So can I do a cram and get like 4 shots in one day to catch up?
United States will transition over to being this updated bivalent varieties. These new updated COVID bivalent boosters are being rolled out. That means they're being distributed and administered now as we speak. There's also been some discussion about this new updated COVID booster, the bivalent booster, having only been tested in mice. Why and how did they do that? I want you to think of this very...
Because I am a mouse. That's what she's going to say.
Similarly to, again, the influenza vaccine or the flu shot, every year there are slight tweaks to what we have in our flu shot. We don't go through the expense, the time.
And that's why every time people get those shots, they always end up with the flu, funnily enough. Oh, gosh.
The methodology, the process of testing the flu vaccine every single year, because it's considered to be tried, tested, and safe based on the multiple years of experience we have with it. Very similar with this update.
You pity this thing that this thing ain't the same as that thing. So yeah, you might have that theory based on those, but this stuff is different, and you don't have that research and data that you've got to base this upon. This is just plain Russian roulette, funnily enough. Oh gosh, talk about the Crown. Oh gosh, I was going to say stuff, but I better not.
COVID vaccine. Right now, the original boosters, the original vaccines have been given hundreds of millions of times around the world for a period of almost 2 years.
Yeah, and how many adverse events have you had, and how many people are suddenly disappearing? Oh, wow, I'd hate to correlate stuff, but hey, it seems to correlate.
So we have excellent safety and efficacy data in humans on these vaccines. There was also time urgency to get these.
So she just admitted that you were part of a medical experiment. Just remember that.
Vaccines authorized so that they can be of use and benefit to us as we move into the colder months. But right now, even though it's controversial, with some medical experts and scientists saying that it should have been fully tested in humans.
Yeah, why bother fully testing it on a human and just basing it on the biology of a mouse? Like, yeah, why not? Like, why couldn't we base it upon a bloody a koala? You know, like, seriously. You know, they've got gonorrhea, the koalas, so maybe we should base stuff on that. I don't know, you're just making it up as you go along. Next car sale.
There's a lot of data that supports the fact that the safety profile exists with the original booster, and that the changes that were added to this vaccine were not of such a significant nature to suggest that there would be any difference in terms of its safety.
Wow, there you go. Go get it, everyone. Go and get it, because if you want to stay alive, that's what you got to do. I can't say that you shouldn't, because that'd be against guidelines here. So take care.